Hello there, Facebook friends. I'm a little behind schedule, so my apologies for I am officially 5 minutes late, which is not bad for me. If y'all know me well, in my live world, I tend to run behind perpetually, much to my husband's chagrin. So welcome to Tuesdays at 2 here on Facebook Live with Sweet Stamper. Let me know if anybody's here. Hey, Darlene, I'm so glad you're here today. I tried to be on time, and sometimes the harder I try. Hey, Kim, I'm glad you're joining us from the UK. The harder I try sometimes to be on time, the worse it gets. So I thought I had everything over here that I needed, and then I discovered when I started thinking about things that I wasn't quite there. So one of the things I don't want to do, just me, I don't want to be in the middle of chatting with y'all. Hey, Michelle, doing a demonstration. Hi, Marlene. And then have to get up in the middle and go fetch something because I forgot. So, yeah, such is my preparation. But, hey, Christine, I'm so glad you're here with us from Minnesota. So we've got a little Texas. We've got San Antonio. I know we've got New Braunfels. I think that's where, Marlene, I'm pretty sure you're in New Braunfels. And I know you're a little north of me. Hi, Terry. And you are, I think you're in Missouri. And we've got Minnesota here. And we've got the UK here. So we've got a little international flavor going on. And those of y'all who have seen my personal Facebook post, we shared that our youngest is getting ready to move to England and kind of coming full circle because he was born there. And at the same time in his life as my husband and I were in our lives, he and his wife are moving to England. And we're super excited for them. We continue to have a lot of relationships in the UK, a lot of friends that we've known for 30 odd years now, and they still love us and we still love them. So, okay, enough from where we are today. I'm going to jump in because I try to keep this to 30 minutes, and I'm going to share something today. I promised I would stamp with you today. Before we start stamping, I'm going to tell you that we are going to be concentrating. Hi, Donna. I'm so glad you're here with us. I'm concentrating today on a new bundle in the Stampin' Up! Catalog. Thank you, Christine, for sharing, and Nancy's here as well. Welcome, welcome. We're going to be concentrating on a sweet little bundle in the Stampin' Up! Catalog, the new catalog, and it is these two items together. So this little, and I know I'm in the sun again today. I switched back to my sunny window. So this is the Builder Punch. So it makes these little vases and a little flower and a little leaf. And then here is the coordinating stamp set. Is that glaring to y'all, or can you see? Somebody let me know. Is that glaring as much to you as it is to me? Probably not. So I think you can see. I think you can see. The bundles in the Stampin' Up! Catalog just simply mean that there's two coordinating products, and when you purchase them together, you save 10%. Thanks, Donna, for letting me know. It's okay. I appreciate that. I do like natural light, and I think now I'm going to get a little bit of cloud cover so it won't be quite so glaring. Yeah. I'm glad, Kim, that you're enjoying this bundle too. I will tell you that when I initially saw this bundle, I thought, I don't know if I'm going to get that one because it's a lot of little tiny pieces, and I typically don't do a lot of little tiny fiddly. But my assistant, my trusty assistant who is on with us here today, and I'm going to be showing you some of her work, Darlene, she jumped right into this bundle and started creating super, super cute things. And because of what she was creating, I jumped in. So this is one of the cards that Darlene made. Very pretty. I believe this is a case from the catalog. And this features one of our brand new colors, the Granny Apple Green, and paired with lovely lipstick, which is one of our new in colors. And then this one is just lovely. And this is literally, these are stamp, ink, and paper cards, which are my favorites. So this one is in the new Highland Heather, this lovely soft purpley lavender. And then Darlene was on a roll. So here she did, I believe this is Darlene's, this one in Coastal Cabana, which is one of our new, our returning colors that most of us are just in love with. And this one, maybe this one was a swap. This one has a little bit of a pool of the fine tip glue here, which makes the vase look like it's full of actual water. Gives a really nice dimension to an otherwise extremely simple card. Very, very simple. Okay, so Darlene's saying this one is not hers. I think this one I got from, I do a mail-in swap with some other Stampin' Up! Leaders, and I get some incredible work from those. Now, with this same vase here, but different flowers, this was another mail-in swap that I received, and this is that new kind of flashy fun fold. This is Brenda Marshall that created this one. Isn't that a cool fold? And this is one of our new in colors. This is the Grapefruit Grove, and this here is the Pineapple Punch. So again, just really simple stamping and a pretty fold and a delightful card. So this is not complicated. This is very quick and easy. I'm going to show you a couple more that Darlene made, and then I'm going to jump into the card that I'm going to make with you on camera today. And, well, I take it back. This is another catalog case, and this one is from Kimberly Myers. And this is cased right out of the catalog. But I will say that when you have them in person, they are much prettier than just in the catalog. I think just because they're 3D, they're actual stamps, ink, and paper. And isn't that just a lovely card? Hoping your day blooms with happiness. You could send, you could put on the inside happy birthday, or you could just put, hey, I'm thinking about you today. Such a pretty way to express yourself to someone. And then this one is actually from Darlene. This is one of her works, and again, it is largely a case from the catalog with a few little touches that she added. And this again is this is the lovely lipstick here, but it's paired very nicely. The pink in this designer paper, this is the Garden Impressions paper, and it is actually Melon Mambo, but look how nicely those coordinate together. So just very pretty images. Okay, so let me show you what I'm going to share with you today. This was a card that I created for my stamp camp, and the stamp camp is what I did to have an all-day stamping event with customers to jump into the new catalog. And so this is the one that I created, and this was dubbed by Michelle Brownstein, who's watching here today. She dubbed this the Minnie Mouse card because that is where you get this color scheme is very reminiscent of Minnie Mouse. I thought she did a great job of naming this card. And I'm going to stamp this with you today and just show you a few tips and tricks. And once we are done, I'm going to link for you this color scheme I got directly from the Stampin' Up! Site. Stampin' Up! Has given us some color schemes this year to help us work with all of these new colors that we have. And so this is the new Pineapple Punch. This is one of our new in colors. And this is Lovely Lipstick, another one of our in colors. And it's kind of cooled off, I think, with the Basic Gray and the Whisper White, because these are really, really vibrant tones. And sometimes, as much as I love vibrant tones, you can get too much of a good thing when you have everything you just have so much color jumping out at you. So before I stamp, let me just show you. These are the new in colors, and this is the paper that I'm going to be using today. This is the Lovely Lipstick. And when you get this stack of papers, you get all 5 of these new in colors, which are very reminiscent of just your primary colors that we used in school. But look how vibrant and clear. I especially love the clarity of this Pineapple Punch. It's just a really, really clear yellow. There's nothing but just pure yellow in there. And I'm not typically a really huge user of blues, but I am in love with this blueberry bushel. It's a little bit softer than a cobalt blue, but very much a cobalt blue. So you have these pretty little polka dots on one side, and then if you flip the other side, you've got little stripes. Very cute. And then the other pattern in the same set is a little bit more monochromatic without the white. It's just tone on tone. And again, you have polka dots and stripes. They're a little bit softer, not quite as much contrast. So I wanted you to see those, the in color pack. I do like that these are, they come 6 by 6, so they come like this. And that means that if you're doing card making, they're super easy, quick and easy to use. So I am doing really well on time here, and I am going to flip the camera down and do a little bit of stamping for you. So, so you don't get dizzy, you don't get seasick. Be aware you're going to have a little flip right here. Whoopsie. And I always have to have some sort of mishap when I'm doing this. So my coaster flew as I was flipping. So again, this is where we're going. This is where we're going to head today. And let me just clear my space a little bit so that we don't get too many shadows here. I don't know why. I think that's just my window that's causing that shadow. Hey Jennifer, I'm glad you're here with us. We're doing this little Minnie Mouse card. So what I wanted to do, is I just realized I don't have my Stampin' Trimmer, and I'm supposed to have my Stampin' Trimmer, so this is going to get interesting because I didn't want to have to leave the camera, but I think I'm going to have to. And so bear with me for just a moment because I don't have anything to trim paper with on camera, which is one of the things I wanted to show you was just basic paper trimming, because sometimes, you know, a lot of us on here are die-hard paper crafters, but there's always new people popping in, and I wanted to do a little bit of trimming with you. So hold 1 second while I grab a paper trimmer. I'm going to have to jump into my big one because my other one is downstairs. My studio is upstairs, so I'm always popping up and down. So let me just show you what I'm going to do here, because this isn't going to look nearly as flash as I had wanted it to. So these are the dimensions that I'm going to be using for my card today. And my 8.5 by 5.5 is this piece here of Pineapple Punch, and I've already got that one ready to go. A lot of times, for those of us who make cards regularly, we will just keep these in our stash. So I will go through and make a bunch of these card bases so that these are ready to go when I'm ready to create. So again, here are my dimensions, because when I fold this in half to create my card base, this is 5.5 by 4.25. And that's kind of the basis that you're going to use everything else. So, hey, Crystal, I'm glad you're here. You're going to watch me fumble because I kind of messed up on my cutting for today. But never mind. So I'm going to cut this first one at 5 by 3 3/4. So let me get that one here for you really quick. This is a Stampin' Trimmer that we used to have, that Stampin' Up! Used to sell, and I desperately wish we still had. This was our guillotine cutter, and we don't make it anymore, and I really wish we did. So there's my gray layer, and now I'm going to go I'm going to go just a 1/4 inch down on each side here. So to create the next layer, I'm going to use my Designer Series paper. Hey Marissa, I'm glad you're here with us. And this one is going to be 4 3/4 by 3.5. So now you can see how I'm getting my layers going. And you see how sometimes, like, you look at those polka dots, and that is a lot of polka dots. And I'm a big fan of polka dots, but that is a lot of polka dots. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a pretty large layer of white over that, and then I will get the look of the polka dots without having quite such a heavy presence of polka dot there. So now I need a 4.5 by 3.25 piece. So let me go down to 3.25 here and 4.5 here. Okay, now that didn't go quite the way I was expecting, but c'est la vie. We are still stamping. So these little scraps, I will save this one and this one. These I will throw away. I know some of y'all save every single little scrap. But you know, people, this is really just paper. And we have plenty more where it came from. So I want to encourage you to part with your scraps, clear out your space a little bit, and you will enjoy your stamping much more. Okay, so here's my layers, and that is all I need for my card. And I'll show you why. You might be wondering where you're going to get these little vases from, and I will show you. What we're going to do is a little trick here that's super fun. This layer, I'm going to take and cut my vases right out of the middle. And you might gasp and say, well, why would you do that? You're going to be using that piece of paper. That's exactly right. And so I can, because I'm going to cover that completely, it doesn't matter that I've cut something out of the center. You see, I still have exactly what I was looking for, and now I have my little vases here ready to go. Now, let me show you one other thing while I'm talking that came to my attention, and that is that, you know, if you stamp with other people, and most of us do, stamping is a very social activity. I like to mark all my things with and I use a little butterfly. Here are my clear blocks that I'm using today, and I have just a little butterfly sticker on there, and that way I know whether I'm in a class, whether I'm just stamping with a friend, then I know these are my supplies because I have that little butterfly sticker on them. Even on my, I even do it on my glue dot box. So that's just a little tip so that you kind of keep track of your own things, because whether you're going to a retreat, whatever your stamping session involves, it often involves other people, and this will help you keep track of your own items. Okay, so now let me show you how quick and easy this is going to be. What I'm going to do next is take my little mat. I'm done with this, and you know that this stores by just locking like that, and then it's flat and ready for storage. This is a photopolymer stamp set, and because of that, I like to use the little piercing mat. This was originally designed for paper, for piercing, and but it works. It's just the perfect density of foam to be the perfect mat, kind of a pad to put under when you're stamping. And so what I'm going to use today is this Hoping Your Day Blooms with Happiness. This is probably my favorite greeting in this stamp set. And then I'm going to use this really simple little flower here. And I'm going to use one other little flower for my envelope. So when you get all of your stamps out and ready, then it is easy to put them on your block. And these fit on the skinny little blocks right here. So these are small images, and I think that's what initially kind of scared me away. But even though they're small images, they're really easy to use. And then we're going to use this on the envelope. And I know many of you who come to my live classes recognize that I typically love one ink pad cards. That is because for me, I will unfortunately forget the ink pads I have out and put a stamp in the wrong pad, and mar my ink pad. So I also am what I classify as a lazy stamper, and so I want to be able to do it quick and easy, and a single color will help me achieve that. So I'm ready to go with my stamping. Here is my little piece, my little white panel, and I'm going to ink up. This is the Memento ink, and I am going to put this down in the bottom right corner. I need plenty of room for my vases. Now, you know, also when you're stamping with photopolymer stamps, you want to make sure that you lay that stamp on there and let it sit for a couple of seconds before you lift. So now I am going to go near the top of my card, and I'm going to stamp 3 of these flowers. And I'm just eyeballing this. I'm going to the center first. And again, you want to hold for a couple of seconds before you lift. And then I'm going to go on either side at about equal distance. And then here's my third one. Super, super simple. No coloring involved, no fussiness. That is all the stamping I'm going to do. And although our normal stamp pads we store like this, because Memento, hey Linda, I'm so glad you came to join us today. Linda's in the Houston area. Because this is a traditional pad, not a Stampin' Up! Pad, I like to store it upside down, and that ensures that the ink is going to stay right where I need it, near the top of the pad. Okay, so now I am going to go ahead and layer this onto my card and start building my layers. I'm using snail adhesive, and I'm going to just add a little bit on each side and stick this down equidistant. Now, one of the things with snail is snail responds really well to a little bit of heat, and so by doing this on the back, I won't get my finger oils on the front of my card, but it helps the adhesive to stick really well. I'm going to do the same thing on this one. Now these layers are a lot larger, so I really just need kind of 1 to 1.5 inch strips of adhesive. I don't need, you know, a whole line of it. And then again, I'm going to pop it onto my little layer so that I'm just getting a nice little frame. And now I'm going to, again, kind of burnish my adhesive into my layer. And then once again, I am going to add adhesive to the back and put this on the front of my card. Now I always make sure that I have the top up. How many of y'all have put your card together this way? It pays to kind of notice those little things. So that gives me a nice little frame. And again, I'm going to go on the back of my card and just do a little bit of burnishing, and that helps my adhesive to really stay in place. Now I'm ready to put my little vases in place. I got to find them because they kind of flew. So I am going to do, I like the polka dot side. This side is also cute, but there's a lot of white here and I'm wanting that contrast. So I'm going to go ahead and keep with this side. Now I could do 2 tall vases here and the short one in the middle. But hi Virginia, thank you so much for stopping in with us. But I really kind of like for this one, I am going to do kind of a stair step look so that I bring my vases this way, the tallest going right down. Now what I'm going to do to put these on is these are the mini Stampin' Dimensionals, and if you don't have these yet, you're going to want to get some. They're really super fun to use because they're tiny, and when you've got a small image like this, or a small piece like this, you don't want to be having to cut your dimensionals in half, and this kind of alleviates that step for us and helps us get into these small places and still give plenty of pop. So what I want to do is I'm going to start with my middle one like so.
so. And I'm going to bring it down pretty far because I like the way that looks, so that the top of my flower is really, the stem is more exposed. And yeah, you could vary this. You could like do some of these with the striped side up and some of these with the dotted side up. There's a lot of things you can do to kind of customize this. And I'm going to show you another little trick that Michelle did at our stamp camp. And let me see, that one's about right, so that I want them to be pretty similar across here. Now you could get out your ruler and all that, but I tend to go really simple. Okay, so now look how cute that is. I'm going to add a little piece of ribbon, and these are the in color ribbons. They are all grosgrain, and aren't they pretty colors? Again, just these, whoopsie, very bright, very clear, primary, almost primary colors. I thought I had a piece already cut, but alas, I do not. Okay, well, I will show you that when I'm doing bows and things, I like to leave the ribbon on the bolt because I think you waste less ribbon that way. And I'm just going to tie it just like I tie my shoes and not worry about how it, how it looks until I get it tied, and then I can manipulate the tails so that I get my loops just the size I want. Now I want this to be pretty small because I'm going to put it right here. So now, Diane, you said you almost forgot I was on today. I'm trying to remind people, but I'm so glad that you caught me live today. I appreciate that so much. It gives me a little bit of an audience to stamp with, which makes it so much more fun to be able to chat with y'all live and talk with you. I appreciate being able to post and share it later, but I do like being able to interact with y'all live. So here's my mini glue dot, and I'm just going to pop that right in the center. Now, isn't that sweet? Very, very sweet, very, very simple. Now I'm going to show you something that, hey Chris, I'm so glad you're here, Kristen. One other little thing is this, when I punched out using this punch, it created that little flower, and I just discarded this. But when we were at stamp camp, Michelle took that and added it right there to the flower. Isn't that cute? So we have a little polka dot flower in with all the others. I think it's super cute. Now, one last thing that I'm going to do, well, I didn't bring my envelope over here. I was going to stamp this little flower on my envelope, but I forgot to bring my envelope over here, and I don't want to make you wait while I go fetch one. So let me just tell you while we're wrapping up today, because our time is almost gone. Again, I keep it right at 30 minutes, but here is my ordering special for today. And that is that if you would like to place an order for any supplies at all, this is my Stampin' Up! Website, and it's candystamps.stampinup.net. This is the host code that you use when you place your order. And through June 30th, I am going to send you a yard of each of these ribbons when you place a $25 order. So you get a yard of each of these new Stampin' Up! In color ribbons to get you started. And I think a yard of ribbon goes a long way. I think I probably used about, I'm thinking probably about 6 inches here. So, a yard of each color is going to really get you started. And then if you wanted, a full roll of your favorite color, then you would have tried them out and know how to, know which one's going to work best for you. So again, there is my ordering special. I will link this on my Stampin' Up, not on my Stampin' Up, on my Facebook page there when I'm done. And I will also link this color combo that helped me discover that working together with Pineapple Punch and Lovely Lipstick, Basic Gray would be a great combination for that. So again, I'm going to flip the camera really quick and just
say goodbye to you. Thank you again for tuning in today. Tuesdays at 2 live on Facebook. My facebook.com/sweetstamper business page for my stamping business. Again, I really appreciate you joining me here today. It's fun interacting with you. I love the comments coming. I love the hearts and the little thumbs up and those kind of things. They kind of give me that added energy to go, hey, okay, I'm connecting and you guys are enjoying what I'm sharing. Again, this was the Minnie Mouse card with varied vases, a great value with Stampin' Up! Products that you can do a ton of different things with. Thank you so much again for joining me here today. I will see you next week on Tuesday at 2. And again, I'll be posting some links. Hey, Rosemary. I'll be posting some links on here that will help you in your creativity. And thanks again for joining me today. Hey, Cynthia, I'm glad you're here. I'm going to finish this out and I'm going to post it immediately so you'll be able to watch the video. Thanks again and God bless.